Illustrations by Kelvin Howley. Ted was a skilled builder who lived just outside a large town with his horse, Rocket. One summer, he drove his little truck a long distance into the countryside to Farmer Jim's farm, where he stayed for several weeks, working hard every day building a new barn. When the new barn was finished, Farmer Jim drove his tractor with a mower to cut the long grass in his fields. After the hot sun had dried the grass, he used a harvester to make hay to feed his cows in the cold winter where no grass could grow. He stored hundreds of golden hay bales inside the brand new barn where they would keep fresh and dry until needed. Before Ted left, Farmer Jim paid him lots of money for his excellent work and also gave him 4 large bales of hay to take home for Rocket the horse. "Thank you, Jim," said Ted. "I know Rocket will enjoy such nice fresh hay." He lifted the hay bales onto the back of his little truck and tied them firmly with strong rope so they wouldn't fall off. "You're welcome. Come back whenever you need more," replied Farmer Jim. "Those bales will last many weeks. I won't return for a long, long time. Goodbye," Ted called to Farmer Jim, waving as he drove away over the narrow, bumpy road. On the way home, Ted whistled happily as he drove past all sorts of farms. He was interested to see a variety of crops, as well as many different animals: sheep, goats, deer, pig, alpacas, bulls, and ostriches. At one farm, some careless person had left a gate wide open, allowing 8 hungry cows to rush out of the bare field to search for something tasty to eat along the roadside. Driving around the corner, Ted suddenly met these runaway cows walking on the road. At first, he had to slow down, and then he had to slam on the brakes to stop his trucks, because the cattle were blocking the road. Those hungry cows could smell fresh hay. They crowded all around the little truck, sniffing longingly at the 4 hay bales tied onto the back. Soon the cows began to pull and tug strongly at the hay. Poor Ted was confused, sitting in his little truck, wondering what was happening as it rocked and jerked with each pull at the hay. But he had completely forgotten about Farmer Jim's gift of hay for his horse. He didn't understand that the hay was the attraction. Whenever he tried to look in the mirrors each side of the truck, his view was blocked by swishing tails, long tongues, and sharp horns. From the windows, all he could see was a wall of moving bodies like a sea of cows. He tooted the horn at them, but they took absolutely no notice of the noise, crowding closer all around his little truck, pushing at each other as they tried to reach the hay. Suddenly, the ropes broke as the cow kept tugging harder at the hay. The bales fell, thudding onto the road, rolling apart and spreading out to the sides of the roads. The animals immediately followed them, moving quickly away from the truck and lowering their heads to pull mouthfuls of hay out of the fallen bales. At last the road ahead was clear, so Ted was able to drive away, leaving the cows busily munching and chewing. "I can't imagine why those silly cows blocked the road and bumped against my truck," he muttered crossly to himself as he continued his journey home. "What a nuisance. I will reach home later than usual after that delay. Poor Rocket will be lonely, wondering when I'll return to feed her some carrots and apples." Thinking of his horse reminded him of the special treat he was bringing from Farmer Jim. When he finally reached his own house, there was Rocket waiting patiently by the wooden fence. Hi-ho, Rocket. Wait until you see what a delicious treat I've brought for you today, called Ted. It's my reward from Farmer Jim's for working hard. I've got 4 big bales of nice dry hay for you to eat. It's enough to feed you all through the winter. In a few months' time, I'll return to the farm to get more from the new barn. He stopped his truck and went to the fence to give Rocket a loving pat. Now I will undo the ropes and bring your first meal of tasty hay, he said. But when Ted looked on the back of his truck, he was astonished to see only some broken ropes lying there. He scratched his head as he wondered, where were those precious bales of freshly made hay now? How could they possibly have disappeared completely? Poor Ted felt disappointed and puzzled until he remembered those 8 hungry cows that he met blocking his way on the rough, crunchy road. No wonder my truck was getting bumped and jerked, he said. Those wicked cows didn't let me drive past until they had eaten every single bit of hay. I'm so sorry, Rocket. I'll promise I'll go all the way back to Farmer Jim's place tomorrow to get more hay for you. The end.